Welcome to the Moon Magic Tarot channel. Thank you so much for joining me. In these readings, we are asking for guidance from the full moon. We're asking to be shown your next steps or your next step. What is the next thing you need to do? Can we have guidance within the light of the full moon? We're asking for the energy and the light of the full moon to assist you today. So we will be drawing 3 cards, each with runes and a charm. This beautiful crystal, selenite. Selenite gets its name from Selene, the goddess of the moon goddess. And literally selenite, as you can see, literally gathers light, just as the moon gathers light and redistributes it in the darkness to us. So let's see what our cards are for our readings to guide you in. Now that's interesting. Those definitely are 2 there, and I am seeing actually number 3 here. Okay, so we have reading number 1. We have the energy of ascendant, entrance. Okay. Reading number 2, second house, resources. Reading number 3, Sagittarius, expand. Wow, okay, so beautiful, beautiful energies with these cards. Let's draw runes and a charm as well for each one. Okay, very interesting. So with ascendant, you have the rune of joy. With the second house resources, you have the rune of separation. This is interesting because it's also a rune of gain and inheritance. And lastly, Sagittarius, expand, you have the rune of harvest. Your charms, for those that like to use the charms. Reading number 1, you have the charm of the owl. Put that up so you can see that. Beautiful little charm. Reading number 2, we have the energy of the heart. Beautiful charm. And reading number 3, okay, you've got 2 coming out here. Wow, this is quite fascinating, these 2. I will talk about them in the reading. You have the Eye of Horus and you also have the Lizard. 2 charms coming out with reading number 3. Very interesting indeed. Super Souls, I'm going to leave these on view and let the camera run just for a few moments for any of you who are wanting just to take a little bit longer to see which of these readings is speaking to you. It might be more than one. You may already know which one you're drawn to, but I'll leave the camera running for a few moments. If you need to, you can always press the pause button and I'll put the timestamps in the information box below and the comments for phone users. Welcome, reading number 1. You have been drawn in by the card of, or guided in really, by the card of Ascendant, Entrance, the rune of joy, and the owl. The rune of joy is magnificent. It's interesting with the card of Entrance, Ascendant, it does feel as though you're at an entry point. And of course the owl allows us to see in the dark. Are you coming out of a dark place? Let's draw more cards before we really dive into this. Okay, that one too, and that one. Let's have a look and see what we have here. Okay, We have Seeker of Crystals, Guardian of Hearts, Three of Swords, and the card of the Wizard. Okay. Okay, I can see where we're going with this. I do feel you're at an entry point. What the moon is highlighting for us, what the moon is showing you, is that there is going to be, it's like the light at the end of the tunnel. There's something that you haven't, either you haven't been able to see the woods for the trees, or you have felt that it's not happening. There's a real sense of something that hasn't yet arrived. Now the rune of joy is beautiful because this is literally carried across by the gap of, carried across the gap by the wings of heaven. You know, it's a new dawn. It's out of fog, you know, moving through the mist. You know, the mist rises, you see where you're going. You're at an entry point. I think some of you, it hasn't been moving, or you've been wondering if it's ever going to happen, or maybe it's been a bit stop-start. For many of you, there are matters of the heart involved here. Now, what is really interesting is the moon is showing you something here. Three of Swords. This is a point of an ending of a period of conflict or a period of difficulty. And, you know, we see this dove arriving with flowers in its mouth. This is a bit like, you know, Noah's Ark, being out at sea and really conflicted by something, or feeling stuck, or feeling as though something isn't moving, you know, struggling to see the way forwards. You are being guided. There is divine timing around you. You are actually being guided. But you've had to wait, okay? You're having to wait. It's like the universe is orchestrating around you. It's as if you're having to wait for something. If I was looking at a birth chart, it would be like a planet moving around your birth chart. You know, when we look at where the planets are now in relation to an individual's birth chart, we're looking at the transits, the energy they're coming in. It's as if a planet has to cross your ascendant to open up that gateway. But something's going to come through to you. It's almost like just when you think you're kind of stuck and it's not going to happen, it will. You are calling it in. You're actually calling this in. You've been calling it in for a while. For some of you, this is connected to relationship, but not to all. For some of you, but it's something you care about with passion. It's something that makes your heart sing. You want something. This dove, it's heralding it's heralding the entrance. It's heralding the new opportunity. With Noah out at sea, when the dove arrived with a branch, with a twig, they knew that land was in sight. Even if they couldn't see it, they knew that land was in sight. They knew that they would find the way forwards. They just had to follow where that dove came from, where that bird came from, and follow that to the goal, to the land. And here we have a wizard kind of pointing at you here. And this little treasure, just show you this little, I don't know, kind of gnome type figure. Almost feel it's a bit like, oops, I'm going to put that back here, look, so you can see it, sorry. It's almost as though it's like a gnome kind of type figure. Reminds me of the hobbits, actually. There's the jewel, there's the jewel. You've come from the mountain. And look at these trees here with faces in them. They are a gateway, again. Here is your entrance. You've come through an entrance. You've been carried through. Now is the point when the magic starts to happen. You are at an entrance point. Now you need to see it as well. Do you know, there could even be something around you that you're not yet seeing, because we have these two, again, look at these birds coming in to support you. we have these two doves with a ring of flowers, and they're trying to put it on the head of this lion. And this is the lion in the yellow brick road, I think. I think this is the story here. Trying to find his courage. Okay. I think, reading number 1, that you are at an entrance point. You've come through a very dark time, or a period where something hasn't been moving forwards in the way that you would want it to. This is literally an opening. I can't even say a turning point, because I don't feel as though you're turning around. You're moving forwards. The entry point is right in front of you. And it's the entry point to something you really want. For some of you, it's a relationship. There is love here, guardian of hearts. But whatever it is, it's something that makes your heart sing. Now, this is really interesting as well, because the figure in this card, 3 of Swords, she's not looking at the dove, just as this lion is not looking at these 2 doves, bringing in this halo of flowers. She's not looking. She's not seeing that it's there. She's ringing the triangle of swords, and we know that this is coming to an end. I sort of feel like in her heart, she knows that this has come to an end. So in this case, you know, this is male or female, non-gender specific, whoever you are, you know, this has come to an end. You know in your heart of hearts that you're at a space where something is opening for you. And yet you can't quite see it. You're being told to have faith in the magic here. We need to draw more cards. Let's draw an animal guide. There is your card, elk. Beautiful, beautiful energy of elk. Okay, now let's talk about elk for a moment. Elk is a magnificent energy. They have stamina. You know, they know when to run. They can cover ground. Kind of twofold message coming here. On the one hand, you are being asked to have the stamina to persevere, but you also need to be open to see what's being offered to you. I feel the moon is showing you. This may actually correlate with the exact timing of the full moon. If you're watching this reading at any other time, because we can be drawn to a reading, even if it's a full moon reading, we can be drawn to a full moon reading at a new moon at any other time. The full moon will always illuminate something for us. So you could be coming to this reading in 6 months' time, or you could be coming to it as I upload it, or on the very day of the full moon, or on the very day of any other moon. The point is that the energy of this reading, in alignment with the full moon, will be showing you something, highlighting the next steps. So the first thing this moon is illuminating is you're being asked to see something that's being given to you. There is actually an opening. We have the owl. There's an opening around you, but you may not be seeing it clearly. You may even be procrastinating. Stamina. You may even be exhausted from a period where nothing felt as though it was moving forwards, and almost as a consequence you've got stuck in a space of sort of seeing through a negative lens, or seeing through the lens of feeling like it's never going to open up. Something's actually being offered to you. There's something around you. There's a gateway, an entrance, someone or something coming into your world right now. You're being offered an opening. This is an opening again. This road is leading somewhere, but the lion is looking in the wrong direction. There is a window here showing the castle of her dreams, but she's looking in the wrong direction. She's heralding the end of the turning point, the 3 of Swords, but nevertheless, it's like she's holding so fast to her picture of how she wants something, the fact that she wants something to end. She's not seeing the new beginning. And sometimes we can do that with our desire. We're holding on to a desire for something so much that we're not seeing the next step. You're needing to see something, it's around you. The stamina. Yeah, the stamina is there because you've had to find stamina to get through a period, but this is an entrance point, it's a shift, it's a new beginning. And here again, our attention could be drawn to the wizard. We can see the trees, the volcano in the background. Our focus could be all here, and yet here is this little gnome or hobbity figure. I do feel it's like a hobbit, carrying that golden ring, obviously the ring has fairly different connotations in the Lord of the Rings, but nevertheless, there's a treasure here. There's a treasure here. There's something you need to see. You're not looking in the right direction. Let's draw more cards. Very important to draw more cards. Reading number 1. This one. Okay, let us see what we have. We have the Chariot. Okay, this is really interesting. So we have the Chariot. Something wants to move forwards. Something wants to move forwards. We have the Knight of Discs. Yeah, something wants to move forward. There's a completion. It's more than a completion though. This is bringing in the harvest. We have the 5 of Swords. We have the 9 of Cups. We have the Princess of Swords. And we have the Universe. Lovely, lovely energy. Let's move those along. Now, what am I seeing here? Right. You genuinely are at a turning point. The moon is highlighting this. The energy of the moon is illuminating a turning point for you. And it's a turning point that you have wanted. There is an entrance or an opening that is, it's either already available to you, but you're not quite seeing it for what it is. Or it is literally, you know, almost like if you looked over your shoulder, it would be there. You know, I almost feel like, it does feel like there's a little bit of trickster energy around you. I feel like I'm in a pantomime, you know, when you kind of want to say it's behind you and they turn around, no it isn't, because they're not really looking or they can't see. There's something around that energy here. Something is ready to move forwards, but I do actually think part of the, yeah, this is a really interesting energy here. Part of the problem is it's twofold, and this is what's being shown. So, and this will apply to you at different stages of transition. So for some of you, there is an opening, but you're not quite seeing it. Okay. For others, you can see the opening. It's already present, but you don't quite know if you can trust it, or you haven't quite yet built the courage to step through the doorway. You know that something's coming to an end. You feel it. But you're anxious about stepping through. Now the Chariot and the Knight of Discs. The Knight of Discs is a card that is about bringing in the harvest. It's bringing in a result for you. Okay? And the conflict of the past is, it's time to put it behind you. What these two cards are suggesting to me, again, your next step is to take it slowly. The Knight of Discs is a steady card. You know, Knight of Swords, it's like, go for it, bang, bang, bang. You know, we know the way we're going, we're on our way, hold your course, you know, it's got that sort of direction. This is saying, take it steady. Take it steady. Slow and steady is going to bring in the harvest. Take your time over this. Reading number 1. Whether you are already at an opening and you're a bit anxious, not sure if you can trust it, you know there's an ending to something, but can you really trust or believe it? You know, on the other hand, for some of you, you're not seeing it because you're still tangled in either, perhaps, that fear of, or stuck in that space of where something hasn't been moving forward, so you can't quite believe in that possibility. But actually, the entrance point is really right next to you. It really is, that there's an entry point to something you really want, and it's absolutely around you. You can either see it and you're fearful about stepping through, you need to find the courage, or you can't yet see it because you're too tangled in what hasn't been working, as opposed to connecting in with what can, and with that space of possibility. I am sorry that you've needed to find the stamina to come through such a long period of what has felt like, quite a long period of, waiting is what I want to say. That's the biggest energy here. But it's time to put those concerns behind you. It's time to put down any sense of previous betrayals or things that didn't work out. It's time to put those behind you as well. It's time to face those concerns, knowing that they belong in the past. The elk is looking backwards. The Nine of Cups is a card of celebration. It's commitment to your pathway forwards. It's celebration. It's like a commitment to something of longevity. It's a pathway of desire. It's, in love, this is a card of engagement, marriage, commitment. Cut the cords that bind you. She's looking back again. Look at the way that the elk and the Princess of Swords are looking back. Cut the cords that bind you. Cut the cords that keep you going round in this sort of triangular movement. Stop and look behind you. You're being offered something. Something is real here. There's a real opportunity here. You're very fearful that somehow something might be hidden, or it might go wrong. You have the eyes to see. You have the eyes to see. And it's time to see the way forwards. The universe, both an ending and a beginning. Reading number 1, we're going to draw more cards. I'd like to hear more information really about this. But what I can see is the moon is illuminating that entry point for you. For some of you, it's around you already. In which case the moon will illuminate the things you need to let go of in order to move forwards. Insecurities, inner blocks, inner beliefs, historical situations that are still lingering. The moon will give you an opportunity to release those. The moon will illuminate them. For others, if you don't think it's, I just feel it's there. That's what I've got to say. The opening is around you. It's there, whether you can see it and you're fearful of stepping through, or you can't see it because you're still tangled in the sort of the quagmire of survival. Let's draw a couple more cards here, see what we're shown for reading number 1. I'm interested in having more information, more clarity. Particularly as well in guidance as to what reading number 1 need to actually do. What steps do they need to take? I can see there's a step here that says stop and listen and see. There's also a step that says finding courage, cutting the cords of the past and making a step forward. But let's ask for more information about, more information about your situation, and then more information about what steps you actually can take to change this. 7 of Trees, contemplation. And 6 of Stars, success. Okay. Lovely, lovely cards for additional guidance. So, reading number 1, what the energy and the light of the full moon is showing you is, it's take it steady. Think about it at each step. I think you do need to take a step forwards, but we'll draw more cards to ask. You do need to cut cords, release the past, let go of whether the past is a person, a situation, a kind of a memory that lingers, or even just an inner belief from the past that says, you know, I can't do this, or I don't have the courage. Okay, so there's a letting go here. But success, 6 of stars, success, 7 of trees. What the moon is saying is, and your spirit team really walking with you here, take your time. You don't have to rush at this, but contemplate, evaluate at every step of the way. You do need to see the opening, the entrance, and then think about it. Take your time. It's like little steps forwards. Don't try to rush it. Because rushing it, I think, has, you know, there is for some of you an impatience. You've been waiting for this. You feel like, ugh, it's never going to happen. But you know, when we get tangled in impatience, it colours the energy and stops us from moving forwards in a streamlined way. You know, we have these seals here, 2 seals. You're calling in something very special here. And the rainbow wings, I mean, these are wings of transition, the rainbow bridge of healing. And these 2 seals are very clumsy on the land. You know, I mean, you will have seen them, I'm sure. They're very, very clumsy on the land. They can't move, but put them in the water and they are streamlined. And that's what we're seeing here. They're in the water here. So you need to be moving into a place where you're releasing things that clog you up, perspectives, anything connected to historical stuff. And you can do this through contemplation and awareness. You know, again, in this card we see the lion. The doves are placing, you know, a ring of flowers on his head, but he's not looking, he's looking the wrong way. He's not seeing the way forwards. He can't see the woods for the trees, really. He can't see the pathway. And here we have the 7 of trees and the light is coming through. Blinding light, lighting up the way for you. Contemplation, take it slowly. If you're fearful or a little bit anxious, contemplation, think about your next step, every step of the way. And you will bring in the harvest here. This is an opening to something very special for you. Draw from a couple of other packs now as well. First of all, I think from the Dreams of Gaia pack. Intuition. Lovely. Super good. 4 of fire. Right, you do need to take action. Look at the owl. Wow. Here we have the owl sitting here. You can see the way forwards. If you slow down enough, contemplate, don't try to rush it. If you slow down, you'll be able to take aim and fire. You will need to take some action, but you need to take action with considered thought. Don't rush it. You're bringing in the harvest here. When you slow down, you'll be able to differentiate between your intuition, which will know exactly what the next step will be for you in the uniqueness of your world, and your emotions. There's a confusion here between your emotions, which are connected to the past. You know, when we're fearful, we see an open doorway and we feel fear. And actually the fear is because it's connected to past experiences. It's not actually your intuition, but we can interpret it as intuition. Oh, that doorway doesn't feel good. Actually, I don't want to look in there. So it's actually connecting your intuition, separating your intuition from your emotional self, your child self. And that way you can see what is actually being offered to you. And if you move away from the emotionality, the fear that you don't know if you're on the right pathway, or the fear that this situation, this conflict will never end, if you stop and look and listen, the way will be shown. You'll see the gifts that are being offered and the pathway that's open to you. Everything here is saying slow it down. And then you can move it forwards by differentiating between past emotions connected to a time when you needed stamina to a space where you can actually begin to aim and take fire. There's going to be action needed. I'm very interested in this. Let's draw some more cards. Let's move those back up a little. I want to follow this through. I want to know what is reading number one needing to do when that timing is right, when reading number one have slowed down enough to notice, to observe, to remove the fears. What do they then need to do to take action when they take action? What is the aim and fire? Let's have a look. Okay, you have the Hermit. You have the Five of Pentacles. These are lovely cards. Okay, we have the Hermit. You have the Five of Pentacles. You have the Moon. Well, there we are. Then you have the Sun. And the Ace of Cups. Oh! Reading number one. This is beautiful. Right, okay. Now this is really interesting because we are being shown that there is a period of stillness, of waiting, of seeing. Okay, the owl seeing, the owl seeing. We have eyes all over the coat of the Hermit here. Again, seeing in the dark, seeing the pathway of transformation. Right. Slow down and contemplate and take your situation one step at a time. Now, there will be a moment when you need to take action. Okay? Very, very interesting that we have the Moon and the Sun. And the Ace of Cups, new beginnings. We have like a snake of transformation sitting here in the Five of Pentacles. Now, sometimes the Five of Pentacles is a bit gloomy and doomy, but she's not. You know, she's not stuck in the past. And this snake, if you can see, this snake actually has, I hope you can see this, in its mouth it has a crystal. It's actually holding a crystal, it's offering her a crystal. Right, okay. So, I am seeing something very clearly here. Take your time, slow down. What's being illuminated here is you are at this entrance. I know I'm reiterating, but I feel I want to just run through the story, reading number one. You've been through a period of challenge, stuckness, needing stamina, things haven't worked, frustration, disappointment, lots of stuff, and I'm really sorry that that's happened. You're at an entrance point, an entry point to something that really matters to you, that you really desire. For some it's love, for others it's something that you are going to love, whatever it may be. Now, get still and notice, because there is an entry point around you, a gateway, a doorway. You need to detach from the emotionality that connects to the past and align yourself with your own sort of intuition. See it, observe it, notice it. You're going to be offered something. It's literally like a diamond in the rough. It's the beginning of something. So what we're also being shown in this card, the new beginning that's coming here for you, and you will know that it's time to aim and take fire and take action. What I want you to see, and what the moon is offering here, the illumination is, what's being offered to you is something that it will need to be grown into its fullest. Okay? She's calling it in. Okay, so it's something that comes as a beginning. It has every essence of potential. It's like a diamond in the rough. So if you have an idea, a spark, a something that you think you've been thinking of, but you've been procrastinating around, actually, this is the window of opportunity. This is something to follow through, but it's a diamond in the rough. Okay, it's something at its beginnings. If it's a relationship, then I would suggest it's the very beginning of a relationship. It hasn't yet crystallized, but it has the potential to. Take your time. There's a uniting here. In fact, I feel really strongly I want to put these cards together. Bring these up here and move these down here. The sun and the moon are wanting to sit together. There's a balance. This is going to bring balance into your life, this opportunity. And Ace of Cups, it is the beginning. So this is, the opportunity isn't a completion of something. It's a very much a new beginning. It doesn't mean you won't be completing things, but that's not really on the horizon. This is much more about new beginnings, entrance points to new areas in your life, to something you've really wanted. Now, we've been through all the bit about not seeing. Have a really good look at what's around you. You're being offered a diamond in the rough. You're being offered an opportunity. You're being offered something that can be nurtured and formed into the shape of a treasure that you desire. Success. You're on track with this. Whatever it is that's around you, it really holds huge potential. Notice, observe, listen. You'll feel it. And if it feels right, even if it's needing to be approached step by step, I mean, you can't cut a crystal out of a raw diamond, you know, with a sort of a sledgehammer. You need, you know, precise equipment and skill and expertise, and it needs to be nurtured and crafted into its most beautiful form. And whatever your idea, spark, person, situation, it's going to need to be crafted into its finished form. And part of the next phase for you is that journey. But my goodness me, I believe it's a result for you. I really do. So I feel as though I've jumped from one kind of thing to another a little bit in this reading number one, so I apologise, but I hope it is full enough for you to see this transition. I think in a way, part of the way that the reading has, you know, moved, as it were, and, you know, the story has unfolded, is because that's exactly the kind of energy that's around you. It's this point of stepping through and lingering and needing to let go, and a process. But you're absolutely there. It's right in front of you, or right behind you, or right around you. You need to see it. Then take it step by step, slowly, by feeling your way into it. Gauge it step by step, but aim true with what you really want. Hold your course, hold your vision, because it's going to emerge. Reading number one, this is such an interesting reading for a full moon reading. I almost feel like it's very much the full moon energy when we do anything around the full moon. Sometimes so much is shown to us. We feel like we're in a waterfall of energy, and you sort of almost, it can sweep you off your feet, and you're sort of in a big wave with lots of stuff bobbing around you, and you have to wait till the wave settles, and then you can see what all those things are and what to do. It's that kind of an energy around. Super Souls, if this reading has resonated with you, do subscribe, press the little bell icon, and that way you should get notification as soon as I post any readings or anything else. I post all sorts of stuff. I post readings every Sunday for weekly guidance. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you so much to those of you who've been giving back actually to the channel through the super thanks in the comments. Thank you so much to those of you who are supporting all of my work via Patreon. Thank you all of you for supporting the channel and being a part of this amazing community. I am wishing you all the love. Oh, my computer made a funny noise. I'm wishing you all the love in the world, And any links that are relevant to any of the things that I do, the free stuff I put in the world, I'll put them all in the information box below. Connections to my author page if you're interested in any of the books that I've written to do with emotions and how to use them for empowerment, even the challenging ones. Do connect in with anything there that is relevant to you. And I'll put all those links in the comments for phone users too. Super Souls, I'm excited. This is such an opening point for you. Take it step by step. Aim true. Hold your course. Hold your vision. You will see the way, literally feel your way through, whilst not tuning into those child emotions that can so often pop up for us. Because hey, you know, we're human. That's what happens. Super Souls, tons of love. Welcome, reading number 2. You have been guided in by the second house card of resources, the heart, and the rune of Othilla, separation. This is also the rune of inheritance, of gain. Sometimes suggests we are letting go of something in order to gain something else. But let's have a look and see what else we're shown in your cards before we dive straight in. So we're asking for your next steps, guidance, illumination from the full moon. Okay, let's have a look and see what we have here. So these were your first 2. So we have Guide of Crystals. This is Father Christmas, St. Nicholas. We have 2 of Wands. Beautiful energy of new beginnings here. We have the Child of Crystals. This is like the Page. And then we have Sleeping Beauty. This is very interesting, this reading. Okay. Move your cards along a little bit. Do you know, reading number 2? I'm going to draw some more cards before I dive in here. This is really interesting. It's this Sleeping Beauty. Something's about to wake you up, bringing you out of a sleep. I will draw some more cards before I say any more. I feel like quite a clear message coming through, especially with the raccoon in this card here. Raccoons are very resourceful. They look after the underdog. And you have the card of Wolf as well. Wolf is a great protector. What are you leaving behind? Very interesting. Very, very interesting. You're leaving something behind here. A time or a group of people, a period or a circumstance where you've been around people who didn't look after you or didn't have your interests at heart. They didn't share. Or you were expected to share your resources, but they didn't share theirs. Invocation is your first card. Queen of Swords. 5 of Swords. 6 of Wands. 6 of Cups. 2 6s. Wow. Okay. Princess of Swords. We have the 9 of Cups. And the Ace of Wands. Okay. Right. Okay. Whether you are doing this in realness, the realness of now, or you're doing it metaphorically, You're separating from, I'd venture to say, some aspect of a group of people, or a community of people, or a friendship group, or it could be connected to a family group. But you're disconnecting from a group of people who have been, they don't share. They're not really interested in real community. They give an appearance of community, they give an appearance of family, they give an appearance of being united, they give an appearance of being benevolent and generous, but they're not. They give because they've already got an ulterior motive behind them, or behind their actions. Intent is everything, super souls. Intent is everything. If someone gives you a gift and it's given with joy, love, unconditionally, because they just want you, someone wants you to have it, they give it to you, you're going to get the love and the joy, and you can fully have that gift because it's so nice, it's so gorgeous. It's not just the item, the gift you get, it's all that came with it. But if someone gives you a gift and the sole purpose of giving it to you was so that they could make you pay for it later, call in a favour later, but they never told you about that, you know, there was an ulterior agenda, or they gave you a gift because then they could make up a story about it behind your back or something, the intent is not nice. So although you receive the gift and outwardly it looks like it's kind of really quite nice, it's not. The moon is illuminating a connection for you. I think you already know about this. What's interesting is that I feel like there's an element of loyalty that gets played on here. There's an element of loyalty. It's like these kinds of people play on your loyalty. They play on the fact that, you know, you're a loyal person, that you look after others, you look after the tribe, you look after the underdog. That's who you are. But the full moon is illuminating, highlighting, you know, we're asking for the energy of this beautiful moon to show you your next steps, and in essence to ask for anything that needs to be revealed. I think you already know. I think you've already got the lowdown of this person, this group of people, or even if you are severing ties that go way, way back to the impact of growing up in a family where people behave like that. You know, what you see is not what you get with these people. There's always a hidden agenda, and they take advantage of your good nature. You know, Sleeping Beauty was so, the story of Sleeping Beauty, the reason she fell into a deep sleep actually was somebody who was so envious of her beautifulness and her gifts and her joyousness. You know, a wicked witch or stepmother, I forget which one it was, but you know, this person was so envious of Sleeping Beauty that before she slept, that she set her up actually to try and kill her. In fact, what happened was that magic was sort of adjusted, it was stopped, and she fell into a deep sleep, and then along comes her Prince Charming, the magic, you know, to wake her up again at a time when it's right. Now, I'm seeing you separate from this. Your heart is pure. Look at the poison apple. I'm going to muddle it's Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs who was given the poison apple and fell asleep. But I think as the dwarves moved her in a glass coffin, the poison bit fell out of her mouth or something like that, and she awoke. Sleeping Beauty, I think she pricked her finger on a spinning wheel. But a good fairy, the fairy godmother, who had who was the last one to bestow a wish after the evil godmother had bestowed a negative wish, she was able to counterbalance it, so that all would happen was that Sleeping Beauty would fall into a deep sleep for 100 years and then wake up. Her heart remained intact. And the rewards that she is due will come to her. Okay? Right. Whoever has been around in your world historically, or in your community, or in your group of friends, part of a tribe, a clan, you know, I feel a bit like, you know, it's like when you're in the school playground and you get little cliquey groups of kids playing, and they do, and sometimes they get run by bullies, and you can have a loyalty to the wrong people. There's something about your loyalty here. Your loyalty is gorgeous, it's beautiful, it's a wonderful quality, but it's quite important to cut the cords here, really. Everything in this reading that I'm seeing, that's being illuminated here, the full moon is saying, look, your heart is pure. It's time for you to wake up and claim your inheritance, as in, be who you are. Step up, embrace your full entitlement. Everything about this is rooted in envy. You know, it was the evil god fairy that was so envious of Sleeping Beauty's beauty, and that she had to sort of poison it. You've had someone around you who is poisonous. They just are. They're toxic, they're poisonous. What they bring, the gifts they bring, you know, are not given. They're given with ulterior motives and an agenda that is not nice. It's time to cut those cords and claim your full inheritance. You don't have to partake of the poison apple. Invocation. Very interesting, because this is a full moon reading. You could be watching it at any time. Really invoke the energy and the support and guidance of, you know, your higher self, of your spirit team, of the truth. It's very interesting. I was reading, very fascinating. I've been reading some books on Native American tribal moon wisdom. I've already read them. I'm rereading them, because every time I go back to these books, there's another layer of insight and wisdom that arrives. And this morning, in my preparations and my early morning meditations, I tuned in to the energy of, she's the third, I think she's the third moon of the year, weighs the truth. You know, where we look at the truth of the matter. We don't have to pass judgment on others. We don't have to seek retribution, because all we're doing then is putting more poison back. If we retaliate, we're just putting more poison back into the world. But it's time for you to see with clarity. This feels like the moon is, and the illumination for you guys, reading number 2, is saying to you, look, you know exactly who you're dealing with. You know what they're like. You actually do see this clearly. It's time for you to sever contact, not to be drawn into this, not to accept things from them, not to be fishing and hoping you'll get something good. It's time to wake up, okay? I think action is going to need to be taken by you. The action may be actually much more to do with the mental action of, and the energetic action of severing ties within yourself, not maintaining contact unless necessary, choosing to send love and walk away. We need to also sever ties from any need for retribution, because as long as you hold on to retribution, all that will happen is that you will be drawn into the energy of that drama and of that person. You know, it's time to wake up and depart from that. I also feel like, Super Souls, a really big opportunity is coming your way. We see all this money, second house, resources. I feel like there is an opportunity coming into your world that's going to give you an abundance to share. And it's going to evoke even more envy from these sorts of people, whether they're people who exist in your world already, or whether it's even new people who see you and think that you could be a meal ticket for them, okay? But hold firm. Queen of Swords, Princess of Swords. You know what you're looking at with these kinds of people now. You know the signs. You can see who's real and who isn't. You can see the people who have good intent and those who don't. This is an ownership, a point. Something really good is coming into your world. The Nine of Cups is a card of celebration. It's got longevity, it's got commitment. It's something substantial, something wonderful coming into your world that you love. There's success here. It's interesting, I've done a few of the readings lately, have come up with, some of you are definitely, you're on the pathway for, it's sort of both love and riches. It feels like there's going to be abundance in both areas of your life coming to you, coming to fruition. You know, that amazingly happy relationship, that amazingly abundant career pathway. It's like both are emerging. This is going to attract envy to you. But this is a new beginning. There's a new beginning. There's something coming to you. So wake up. See with clarity what you need to see. Hold your own resources. You'll have an abundance to share, but you need to share with the right people, not the wrong people. Super Souls, let's draw some more cards. So we're asking for a little bit more information, please, for reading number 2. And what steps do they actually perhaps need to take? Okay, so we have the acceptance and the star. This is very, very clear. So first of all, the card of acceptance. This is exactly what I was saying about retribution. Sometimes we must accept people for who they are, but send them love and choose never to engage with them unless we absolutely have to, and then do it really, really carefully. Accept that you can't change them, accept that you're not responsible to bring about justice or retribution for anyone else. There's a lovely passage in the book I was reading this morning that went along the lines of, you know, if somebody consciously sets out to harm somebody else, to behave badly, you know, to give a gift with an intent, for example, their unconscious self is actually knowingly inviting the life lessons into their world that will teach them about, you know, consequences of their actions, what it means to harm others. You know, something will come back to them because that's what they're putting into the world. It will come back to them. We don't need to do that. You don't need to be involved in that. What you do need to do is to hold the light for yourself, for the greater essence of humanity, the greater consciousness of humanity, and hold hope that they will grow from their lessons, but it's not yours to carry. Acceptance. The acceptance will put you in a space of harmony, and it will keep your own avenues of hope open, because I think they can throw you back. You know, when someone behaves badly, it can knock you back, take you back to that old way of being. It's time to separate. You know, whether you do it, and the separation really is the clarity within yourself, whether you physically, literally do say goodbye to certain people and situations, or whether you just keep your boundaries so firm that, you know, or whether you're saying goodbye to any need for retribution to the past. Either way, your energy becomes clean. And you re-find hope, because something is really coming into your world in a big way here. Okay, I'm going to draw a couple more cards. We see what else we are shown here. So part of what's being revealed is the circumstance and the true nature of what's going on around you. The steps to take are to do with acceptance, reading number 2. Yes, emotion, intellect. Beautiful card to have as a central position here. Emotion versus intellect. You will need your mind to override your emotions, because these kinds of people fire you up. It's horrible when people behave badly, or peoples behave badly. It just is. It's not nice when people do stuff behind your back, or their intent is not nice. But it's not your responsibility. Your responsibility is you. Accept, bring yourself back into harmony. Your mind will have to overrule your emotions, actually, and your heart, interestingly enough, may have to overrule your mind if it races into any negative thinking patterns that spiral you back into the same kind of stuff. But you can do it. You can keep in a balance here. And look at the balance of the star here too. Let's draw some more cards. What else are we shown for reading number 2? We can see your steps are to do with keeping your own balance. Judgment. Oh, this is very interesting. High Priestess. Ooh. Have compassion as well. I think some of these people are going to sort of potentially be found out, seen for what they are. You don't have to call the shots, but I think somehow something's going to happen, that I think the judgment will come. Hold the higher vision. You know, again, we can dive into that sort of, you know, told you so sort of stuff. Self-righteous stuff, don't. I actually think, you know, this is going to come to pass, actually. 9 of Cups again. 9 of Cups, 9 of Cups. What else do we need to see for reading steps for reading number 2 to be taking? 2 of Wands. And we have the 6 of Pentacles. Got 6. I love this. 3 sixes. And what do we have? Another 6 sitting on the top here. I feel this really completes your reading here. 6 of Wands, which is success, but invoking envy. 6 of Cups, you have an ample of everything to share. 6 of Pentacles, another card of success here. This is beautiful. Right. Something really is opening up a pathway. Ace of Wands and 2 of Wands. Something is opening up here for you in a big way. Something is coming your way. It is an opportunity. It is a celebration. It's a validation of the work you've done, of who you are, your success, whether it's connected to romance, relationship, your family life, buying that dream home. You know, something is coming to you, a reward, a career opportunity, a deal that you've been wanting. Something is coming to you. 9 of Cups, 9 of Cups. You have every right to feel really good. It will invoke envy. Curiously enough, you separating from this situation, not buying into it, something will happen here. And, you know, I mean, maybe you actually just get the chance to say sorry, no, to somebody. But I feel like the judgment is coming in from outside, from higher guidance. I think somebody's going to be seen for what they actually are. And you can hold that higher position. You can accept them, you can love them, and you can also say no. And take an ownership of your own success. Celebrate your own success. Jump for joy at your own success. Don't allow your success to in any way, shape or form be tarnished by the energy of somebody else's envy or a group of people's envy. Own your success. The steps here are very clear. The moon is highlighting these next steps for you. It is separating from any personal, energetic connection and ties to people who behave in this manner. Keeping them at a safe distance or walking away altogether. Owning your success is the second step. Whatever is coming to you, whatever you are manifesting. So actually, yes, step one, separate. Step 2, accept and don't hold on to any resentments. Send them love, walk away. Step 3, take an ownership of what is coming into your world. It is yours to own, to have, to hold. And do not detract from your celebration in the light of somebody else whose attempts to come in on this would only ever be for their own their own gratification, and not even if they appear to be celebrating for you, it's just another way into your world to get something from you. There's definitely that essence around you. You're being shown this with such clarity, and those clear steps. I love the last step most of all, which is own your success. Take it, have it, hold it. Reading number 2. time to wake up. You no longer have to sleep for 100 years. You can wake up and have that dream. Reading number 2, if this reading is resonating with you and you'd like to get notification of any of my readings, if you subscribe and press the little bell icon, they should come into your stream. I put a ton of stuff into the world, free stuff, so I'll put lots and lots of links to some of my books as well, if you're interested in books that help you to listen, help you to develop your emotional awareness, all kinds of things. In fact, there's a whole chapter on envy in one of my books as well, about how to use it, turn it from a negative into a positive. So that's Mindfulness Meets Emotional Awareness, that particular book. But look, tune into those things if they're helpful. I'll put all the links in the information box below for you. I am so excited for this turnaround and this letting go of something that has been toxic in your world. I'm sorry it's been there, but my goodness me, this is a turning point for you, and the moon is so inviting you to embrace your own personal success. It's gorgeous. Reading number 2, thank you so much for joining me. Thank you especially to those of you who've been giving back through the super thanks in the comments. Thank you to all of you who subscribe and support my work through Patreon, and thank you all of you who subscribe and support the channel, and thank you all of you just for being here and tuning in with the reading for today. I am sending you all the love in the world. This is a beautiful separation that marks a turning point of your ownership, of your own entitlement to abundance in every aspect of your world. Congratulations. Welcome to reading number 3. You have been guided in by the card of Sagittarius, Expand. You have the Rune of Harvest. Now, you had 2 charms that came out as well. We have the Eye of Horus and the Lizard. Now, these 2 are amazing together. Lizard takes us into the dream time. The energy of Lizard is literally able to to dream in the future, to see what's going to happen, to therefore predict what's going to happen and be able to act accordingly. It's like having the sight, to be able to to see what's coming, the Eye of Horus. And Sagittarius is all about expanding into the future, finding new hope, new optimism, and Harvest is exactly what it says. It is a hope. Now, I'm wondering if, because the Rune of Harvest sometimes works in cycles, it can speak of a period of a year when you're working on something and it will come into fruition in a year. Now, it doesn't always connect specifically to a year. For me, it's very much about the natural cycles. And we are, of course, asking for information through the light of the moon, the guidance of the moon, the energy of the full moon, to show the way. What are your next steps? So I am wondering whether you are needing to vision in, or you're going to be shown almost what the outcome will be, so the steps become clear. Let's draw cards, reading number 3, and see where we are taken with this reading. Okay, I think those are our cards, actually. Let's see what we have here to start with. Guide of Swords. There's your first card. Guardian of Swords. Wow, this is very interesting. Look at this energy. Wow. Wow. Ace of Hearts. And 2 of Hearts. Oh, I almost want to just sit in the energy of these cards, and yeah, I really do. I just feel I want to sit in the energy of your cards. This is something, this is like a dream come true. Dreaming in. This is something you have been visioning in, you've been dreaming of. I don't think this is waiting a year. I think the harvest is coming in. And I think you're going to be shown, it's either going to be in alignment with the natural rhythms, because this rune always speaks of natural rhythms. It may be in alignment with the rhythms of the moon. It may be literally at a certain stage of the moon, the full moon or the new moon, where a dream comes true, a connection is made. Something comes alive, it's offered to you. You sail off into the sunset. This is a new beginning. This is, it's guided, it's, well, oh, excuse me. Reading number 3, I'm going to draw more cards. Let's see what else we are shown before I say any more. So we're asking for assistance and guidance. What are the next steps that reading number 3 needs to take to perhaps make this happen? Is there anything they need to do? Do they need to just hold their vision and dream? What are we being shown here? Vulture. Now, vulture energy is very interesting. Vultures clean up. They're very, very sacred energy. Vultures actually clean things up. Right. May we ask for guidance? What are the next steps that reading number 3 need to take to make this magical experience, opportunity, dream come true? The High Priestess, Queen of Swords. Oh wow, Ace of Discs, 10 of Discs, and the Fool, the card of new beginnings. Oh my goodness me. Oh my goodness me. Okay. Do you know, I almost don't know where to begin. I feel quite overwhelmed by the joy of this reading number 3. Right. There's one piece of advice coming through very clearly, which is, it's the cleaning up energy of vulture, which I think is really, really important. There's something about cleaning something up here. What this card, I think, is saying is that you need to bring something into balance. I think the harvest is literally for you guys about to come in. There's something you really, really want. It's about to come in. It's about to come to fruition. Now, Sagittarius, expand. We have the Eye of Horus and the Lizard, and then we have the Vulture. I want to say, clean up your thoughts. Clean up your thoughts, clean up your house, clean up your energy, clean up your dreams, clean up your thinking, clean up everything. Clean and tidy. Tidy your space. The way will become very clear. You're well on track here. You are well on track. Guardian of Swords. Gosh, Ace of Hearts, 2 of Hearts. I mean, wow. This is the coming together, the fruition. But you actually do have to invest. We have the Ace of Discs here. So there's 2 things you need to do here, reading number 3. This is the time for you to expand. The timing is perfect for you to expand, to continue on your pathway and to move something forwards. And it will come to you. It's going to emerge. It's going to happen. It's going to be fabulous. Okay? Everything here is really vibrant, bright. You're on the right path. You're investing in something already. You're on track. Whatever this is for you. For some of you, it's more than one direction. I'm very conscious of the harvest having these 2 sort of symbols that kind of mirror each other. They are connected, but they're connected through you, but they are separate parts of your life. And we are getting this in several readings at the moment where people, definitely some of you are bringing in both the harvest in it's like both in love and in your sort of material world as well, or maybe your health. But this reading is saying you're on track. There's something you've been doing that is absolutely guided. It's completely right. You need to stay on track and you need to remain in balance here. Tidy up your thoughts. Don't also let one of these directions outweigh or outbalance the other. Okay? Because you need to keep investing in both. But invest equally, please. Whether you're investing in your career pathway, an idea or something that you're bringing into fruition, or whether you are investing in, you know, some aspect of your personal life, intimacy, relationship, love, or your home, your family. It needs to be in balance. Everything in this reading is about balance. The High Priestess. Everything is about balance. The vulture brings things back into balance. Without the vulture, stuff would rot and decay, and things would sort of become sort of poisonous and stagnant. You know, the vulture cleans things up. So there's some very clear steps for you to take. So first of all, the full moon is illuminating that this is absolutely the right time for you to expand. In fact, I would even say, don't compromise your dreams, hold the higher vision, hold really firm to what you really want. If you're going to do a vision board, for example, around the time of a full moon, whenever you're watching these readings, you could be watching them as I post them, or you could be watching them 6 months later. You know, the full moon energy always brings illumination and guidance. So by doing the reading within the energy of the full moon, that is what's offered to you whenever you tune into these readings. But what I would say for you guys, reading number 3, again, I think 2 of your dreams, we've got the lizard and we have the Eye of Horus. We have the rose of the heart and the sword of the mind, the clarity of the mind. Yep. 2 things. The 2 here. 2 of hearts, the rainbow. Even in the Ace of Hearts, the 2 wings. The 2 wings. The balance here in the Ace of Discs. The Fool. 2 directions with the Hare of Fertility. The 10 of Discs is your long-term dreams. So, if you don't have one, now would be an amazing time to get really clear and do a vision board, reading number 3. It really would. But clean up your act, okay? Be really clear. Create also, if you do a vision board, you might want to do a circle of intent. You know, when you create an inner circle, which is the things that are absolute must-haves, and then an outer circle, which is the things that you're prepared to have by negotiation. Anything outside of those 2 circles you don't have at all. You're setting your intent, you're holding your higher vision, your higher dream, expanding. You're actually really on track. Get your act together. I feel really bossy, but I do feel like the moon is illuminating this. It's like, come on, don't hang around, don't be complacent, you know, don't procrastinate, don't go sunbathe, get on with it. It's assuming the sun is shining. I voice that because I'm in the UK and we're in a bit of a heat wave, and in the UK we go a bit sort of bonkers when we get heat waves. We're either finding it really too hot and it's too much for us, or we all rush out into the sun because it rains quite a lot here. But it's why we have such a beautiful green world here. So, but basically, get your act together. Clean up your act, clean up your thinking, clean up your room, clean up your house, clean up your garden, clean up your car, clean up your clothing. You know, if you've got stuff you're never going to wear and you haven't worn it for years, get rid of it. Clear, clean, cleanse your energy. Queen of Swords, bring everything back into balance, because this is literally about to emerge. And I feel like the guidance here is literally, you are on this point of emergence. Everything is, you're on track. But if you want to speed it up, that's what this reading is saying. If you want to take a fast track here, if you want to speed up the end result, the new beginning that you desire, that has the long-term everything in it for you, clean up your energy. That's what this reading is actually saying to you, reading number 3. If you want to speed this up and you want to fast track it, then you can do something with this. Let's draw some more cards for reading number 3. May we have more information, please, or guidance as to how best to approach this, or more information about their situation. Right. Knight of Trees, Custodian, beautiful. Page of Stars, Curiosity. Wow, look at that pathway. Right, this is really clear as well. Okay, so clean up your energy, and that includes let the vulture pick away any aspects of self-doubt. Yep, it's time to expand. This is the time for you to expand, reading number 3. It is absolutely, this energy is primed for new beginnings, and the moon is illuminating that for you. So if in the light of the full moon you find that you are picking yourself to pieces, stop it. I am being so bossy in this reading, I can't believe it. I do slightly apologise. The energy is sweeping me along. May I politely ask you to clean up your world in every possible way to enhance your well-being and make your dreams come true. Please, reading number 3. I hope I put that better now. I'm going to just sit and chuckle to myself. My apologies. Right, this just has the most gorgeous energy. It's just like it's bubbling away, waiting to go, ta-da, here we are, you can have everything. I'm loving it. Okay, so here we are. Knight of Trees, the custodian of your dreams. Guardian of Swords, the custodian of your desires, the things you really, really want. Hold true to what you really want, and I'm going to say don't compromise. Actually, hold the higher vision, hold the ultimate dream. And don't, if something is around in your world that isn't quite offering you that, don't project the negativity onto the external world and be massively disappointed. That hasn't come through the way I thought it would, or that person didn't do what I thought they would, or they didn't say what I thought they would. Don't project that level of disappointment. Bring it back internally and have a clean up. Make space so that there is nothing within your mind or your heart that is stopping you from dreaming big. Hold that vision. Okay, and then get curious. And this is the key. This is such a beautiful card of support and guidance to you from the energy of the moon. If you approach everything from a position of curiosity, then every single opening will be a place of fun and joy and laughter and discovery. And even if it's not right for you, you know, even if you open a door and it doesn't seem quite right, that's fine. It just means energetically something else has to be, something wasn't quite in balance. That's okay. To be honest, I feel like everything is just going to open for you. I mean, really, truly, I literally do feel it will be doorway after doorway after doorway. I really, really do. But this for me feels like getting your energy back into that space of curiosity rather than concern. Gosh, what if it's not the right pathway? What if I send that letter and I don't get the right response? It's like, actually do it. Clean up your energy and then do it from that place of energetic freedom. Literally clear your cupboards out. Do all that stuff. Keep your vision clear. I really feel like your higher self, actually, if I'm truly honest, I feel like your higher self is holding your vision for you. And you might be having the odd wobble, but I think your higher self is holding that vision for you. And I do think it's more than one thing coming to you, reading number 3. So this is the one word of advice here. And approach everything with joy, curiosity, discovery. Oh, hello, this is interesting. You know. And I just think doorway after doorway will open for you. Let's draw more cards. Let's just see if we're given a little bit more guidance. Although, to be fair, things are very clear for you, reading number 3. Yeah. Emotion, intellect, Ooh, this came out in one of the other readings. I totally get this card and why we've got it. Totally get it. The Queen of Water. Wow. Okay, I'm going to draw one more from this pack too. There it is. Ooh, that came out in one of the other readings too. So exciting. Right, the key here is really clear. There's more than one thing to do for you in your world, because investment is needed. So, first of all, emotion, intellect, balance. Don't let your mind, if your mind is racing into negative thoughts, you kind of need to kind of then let your heart tell it not to, kind of thing. Likewise, if your emotions are racing, I think this is more the message here, back to sort of if something is disappointing or doesn't feel right, or it's a bit clogged up or a bit stuck, let your mind take over. Don't procrastinate. Let your mind direct you. Give yourself a clear schedule. Don't get emotionally despondent, or, as I said, even emotionally, venture to say, a little bit lazy. You know, I'm not saying that's you, but you know, it's what I was saying about the good weather. You know, we can just sort of lapse into it. Oh, I think I'll just go out and, you know, chill out a bit or whatever. This is a time to take action here, to expand. Everything is ready for you, and action is required with a clear aim. The Queen of Water, enter the dream time and then take action. Whatever the dream is, dream big and then take the steps you need to make that happen. You're already on track here. Reach out. Don't be afraid to reach out. Reach out. This is what I want. Reach out, ask for it. Clear up any negativity and then reach out. Let us ask any more information on the next steps. What is illuminated? Queen of Wands. We have Two of Wands, Queen of Wands, and Nine of Swords. This is very interesting. Yep. Yeah. This is exactly what's being said here. You are literally, reading number 3, at this brink of an opening. Clean up your thoughts, I ask politely. Because what's happening is the concerns, the inhibitions, the sort of I shouldn't really ask because, or I shouldn't really reach out because, you know, the holding back, which connects to concerns, fears that it won't work out. They are holding the Queen of, they're pushing the Queen of Wands to look backwards rather than forwards. You're being asked to step up. Two of Wands. We have Two of Hearts, look, Two of Wands, 2 aces here. I mean, this is so a time for you to take action. Don't hold back, take action. The energy of new beginnings is around you. Your higher self is holding your gut, your dreams. Dream big, expand, take action, and get rid of anything, cleanse, clear, release anything and everything that may be holding you back, whether that is energetically, whether that is physically. It's time to release, cleanse and move on, because especially in your thinking patterns, emotion, intellect, and in emotions that linger, that cause negative thinking patterns. In one of my books, Mindfulness Meets Emotional Awareness, I'll put a link in the information box. I've taken all the most difficult emotions, and because what happens is certain emotions will trigger certain thinking patterns, and then those thinking patterns create more of the same emotion. And in that book, I've taken our most challenging emotions, and literally with exercises, you can learn how to shift that emotion into a positive rather than a negative. You know, everything, again, has two sides to the coin. Everything has a higher vibration and a lower vibration. And with your mind and with awareness, you can shift, particularly with emotions, you can shift that emotion to its higher vibrational form, which energetically moves everything on. I will put links to absolutely anything and everything that might be of help to you in the information box and in the comments for phone users. I have a free online library as well that might be of help. But this is really clear. The guidance, the next steps are vision in exactly what you want, absolutely dream big, approach everything you do with joy, curiosity, excitement, discovery. Keep absolutely in balance, so there's not the, I mean, of course we get negative thoughts about things, but you can shift them to their higher vibrational form really quickly. Don't dwell in this sort of Nine of Swords energy. Dream big, take aim and fire. Everything is going to open up for you. The timing is just so perfect for you to expand now. And it really is beautiful. Reading number 3. Loving the vulture energy. It's just so, yeah, a little bit authoritarian, or it seemed to bring that out in me. Fascinating how that energy was so dynamic and direct. Anyway, super souls, I absolutely adore you all. I wish you every success in this process so that this then happens. Super souls, sending you all the love in the world. If you'd like to get notification of any of my readings as I upload them, I post weekly guidance every single Sunday and lots of extra spontaneous readings. There's loads of timeless readings in my timeless readings playlist, answering specific questions, helping you if you have a wobble. I put loads of free stuff into the world. I have a monthly prize draw for those that subscribe. Super souls, I'll just put all the links in the information box, and yes, if you subscribe and press the little bell icon, everything I post as I post it should come into your stream. And a huge thank you to all of you who have been giving back through the super thanks in the comments, and a huge thank you to those of you who support all of my work on through Patreon. Your donations keep everything going, so thank you so much. And just thank you all for being here, for being part of this amazing community, for checking in on the readings. Just tons and tons of love to you. And wow, reading number 3, wow, what more can I say? Tons of love.